Disruption Networks.
You know, when you got a sound guy in the house, you got to make sure that everything sounds perfect and make sure everything is not so loud. And, of course, already I'm blowing out his eardrums. What's up, people? It's EC Radio. How are you? We're live on all Disruption Network social media platforms. And you can follow along pretty much at Facebook and Twitter and Periscope and Twitch and YouTube and all those fancy places where we produce videos. Anyways, before we get into anything, you can give me some love and give my love to some sponsors over here at EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up my boy Eddie at EJAmoving.com. 315-335-0516. If you have a warehouse full of sound gear that you need to be moved, my boy Eddie will move that sound gear for you. If you have a studio that needs to be moved, or if you just want to move your Aunt Hilda out of the nursing home, he will do all that. Call him today at 315-335-0516. He makes your move stress-free and painless. The home of the free boxes, too. Can you believe like these other moving services don't give you free boxes? But EJA gives you free boxes. And not only do they give you free boxes, but they pack them for you and they bring them to wherever you need to go. EJAmoving.com. Also, much love to attorney Dave Longaretta for always keeping me out of trouble. 315-735-6162 is the number if you need legal advice. Shout out to my peeps over at Utica Coffee. Wake the hell up. I love them. Thank you so much. I'm drinking the house blend today. Just going basic. So thank you to Frank and Heather for sponsoring the D and EC Radio. And also, much love to someone who's not a stranger to my guest and I, and that's the Saranac Brewery. And you can find my guest, Mr. Joe Fanelli, at Saranac Brewery on Thursdays. That happened, I don't know, last year and the year before, but not this year in 2020, though. Cuz it's great to see you, man. How you doing?
Good. I mean, you made me feel like I was like front row at a Saranac event with the music that you played in my ears at 300 dB. I'm like, oh my God, this is why people go, dude, it's too loud.
Can you put more on my monitor?
Yeah, I'm going to put some talent in your monitor too. How about that? Let's work on that.
Is that
for both of us?
Is that a line you use often?
No. I'm not the angry sound guy anymore.
You never really were though.
Well, I mean, I had my moments. I remember, being young and angry and not old and angry.
Yeah.
I'm still angry. It just doesn't show.
You're very good at hiding it.
It's because there's, joy also there. There's joy internal. Some of it's brought by the UC. I'm just saying, the truth is out there.
Thank you for the hat, man. I'm sporting the Fanelli sound hat today. I love it. I don't really normally wear hats, but when the hair gets long, I like to cover it up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pandering by, giving you the hat today of all days. This day, my son, I gave you a hat. But like I meant to drop a hat and a shirt off to you about 9 months ago, and then we don't see each other. All of a sudden we see each other all the time, and now, dude, we don't see each other.
And I miss you. I do, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. No homo, of course. I do miss you,
dude. I don't know. Like, people don't realize how long you have been a part of the music scene, in integral little ways, even just when you were a fan, but you've totally transcended that.
I transcended I went from fanboy to promoter
to producer to come on, this gives a lot of people a voice that wouldn't be heard for sure.
Yeah,
thanks,
mine,
man. Because nobody nobody listens to me.
Nobody listens to me either, bro.
Except when I say more kick drum, please. Kick drum. Yeah, drummer, kick drum.
Yeah, right. Does that drive you crazy though?
Which part that herding cattle, or I'm sorry, cats, or musicians, or no, that's a lot of fun, dude. That's fun.
It's part of the game. I bet though you're really excited to hear. Can I have more monitor right now? Though you would love to hear that phrase right now, wouldn't you?
Seriously, right? Right now, I would take the crankiest old crusty dudes that are I can't hear. Dude, you can't hear that? Seriously? I would take that right now with great joy and happiness. Yeah. It's been March 12th was my last real gig. March 12th.
Was that a Stanley
I
gig?
mean, I say my last real gig, but I did do a couple things in between there, and I don't want to diminish the, no, that was actually like for the Blues Society.
Oh, okay.
Like I cut out from whatever else I was doing, and I did a gig for the Mohawk Valley Blues Society, and it was a great gig, and it was like super exciting to be a part of, and I'm like looking forward to the next one. It's like, oh, this is gonna be so awesome! Like in a couple, like in a month, we're gonna do this. Nothing. Crickets. We're not gonna do anything. We're gonna sit around. I'm gonna learn how to mow my lawn.
And how's that going?
Well, I've got
Is it pristine?
You know what? I've got it nailed down now. It takes 2 days to mow it, but I'm totally down with it, and I think I've got a career in lawn mowing. I mean, honestly, I could be lawnmower man.
Nice.
And if Justin Sears is looking, Justin, I need work. I could drive the lawnmower. I'm telling you, my brother, please give me a call. I know I dissed you this spring when I said we don't need you anymore, but that didn't mean you don't need me.
Joe, it must have been hard for you to slow down because you're a guy that you had gig after gig after gig. I mean, sometimes you wear yourself thin, and I know a lot of people will agree with me out there in Facebook land that's watching, but you do sometimes wear yourself thin. I'm sure your wife will agree with me on this matter. But how hard was it for you to slow down, especially right after March 12th?
Well, okay, so for real, like right now, I'm just grasping that like everything doesn't have to be done in a rush, because normally concert season, like, dude, every day is a rush. Like, you're like just waking up and you're going, oh my God, I have to be at Saranac for a concert, and we're there for load-in or whatever. So I'm just wrapping my head around like, yeah, you could take your time and tie your shoes and like, maybe you could like say hi to the kids and, pet the dog. So it took a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have a gig at least.
This ain't really. I'm here for like an hour a day, 3 days a week.
Yeah, I would take that too. You need a co-host.
Yes, please. Oh my God, that would be great. I've been wanting to sit down with you for a long time doing this.
We'll grill people. I'll ask them about sports, which I know nothing about, and you could ask them like the hard questions.
Yeah, right. The hard hitting.
Yeah.
We could play bad cop, good cop.
Bad cop, good. Which one do I get to play? I want to play
bad.
Oh, dude, yes.
Yes, you're always going to be the bad cop.
I love it.
I can only imagine. I was thinking about that, too. I'm like, wow, everything getting shut down. And, of course, it trickled down to everybody, production crew and staff and just runners and caterer and all that. But thinking about like what you do and how many different gigs that you're Monday night you're at Levitt, and then Tuesday I don't know where you're at, and then
somewhere.
You're always somewhere. I feel like every time I turn around you're everywhere.
Yeah, I was like stalking you for one thing. I mean that was part of it. But there's a lot of events that happen in Utica. Some of them are under the radar. And there was actually a point for like about 3 years where I was part of every single thing because of my position with ITEA, in between being that in the sound company and so on. If anything happened in Utica, I was like part of it for sure. Like definitely had my fingerprint on it. And it was pretty stressful and it was pretty crazy, but it was also really rewarding. I mean, this is a great area. There's things going on that people sometimes they don't even know they're going on. Dude, Levitt is a prime example.
Yeah.
There was like great original music being presented every Monday. And yeah, they grew it to like maybe 1,000 people, but it should have been like 2,000 or 3,000 people, because this is like the up and coming artists that like you're going to hear about. You know what I mean? Like in a couple of years, you're going to be like, hey, I saw that dude like at Utica Monday night. And well, it's not. It's Levitt,
but
actually.
It's still
I mean,
same principle.
To me, it's like always. Well, it's Utica. It's Monday night.
Well,
it's
Lynn's
Utica.
still involved with it too.
Well,
kinda.
She was.
She was there. I've seen her.
Yeah.
There was a presence.
Yeah. There was. Yeah.
But you bring up all these people that play there, like Taz last year.
Taz, dude.
I mean, that kid is going to be the next coming. Well, they call him the next coming of Hendrix or whatever.
Yeah.
But the kid's like 15 years old or 16 years old now.
Yeah.
Doing his thing, and he's super popular. And like all these great jam bands are bringing him up on stage to play. He's playing Jam Cruise. He's playing like Peach Fest. Prior to COVID, of course. But but that's Taz is one of those names. Sophista-Funk being another one, and there's just so much great talent that Michelle and crew brings in for the Levitt Amp series.
Yeah. I mean, it was like really every week was an amazing, exciting adventure. Even like you'd have like intermission acts, and it was just cool to see like people in the community come together and to do this thing, and like, you know what I mean? It was the most multicultural thing that you could possibly imagine, which is Utica. Utica is like so many, we Italians don't run the place anymore. That's the old days. And it's like so cool to have so many different people coming together and just like enjoying an event. And I miss Uncle Groovy too.
No.
Yeah, like I don't see him. He's not out there dancing, doing his thing. He's got that dance that that he does that. Dude, it fits everything.
Do you miss air traffic control, man?
Oh, man, no.
Still don't miss him.
Oh.
It's not that bad to where you miss air traffic control.
No,
man.
I'm going to be honest with you that if the next, I would take the next event if he was there. Dude, he showed up at the Square Pegs played at the State Fair last year, and who's out in front with his duck waving it away? Air traffic controller.
You think he does that to antagonize you?
Dude, I think like that was a flex. That was totally a flex. He was like totally showing me like, dude, you know what? I know where you live. And I don't know where he lives.
So it's not that bad to where you actually miss air traffic
I don't miss him. I miss everybody else.
Everybody else.
Everybody else. I mean, like everybody else. Even like the Karens that come up and like, it's what are you doing on your iPad? Get off that iPad. Watch the band. It's like, oh, Karen, I am mixing the band. Please take your hand off my iPad.
Pipe down, Karen.
Yeah,
and go drink your seltzer.
Oh, I might have become one of those. I don't know. I sit around, 8 o'clock in the morning. What else are you going to have? A little White Claw, or maybe the Saranac green tea seltzer.
I love those.
Dude, it's got green tea in it. I think that's breakfast food.
Yeah, it's good. Have you tried them?
Yeah, of course. I'm like, I need some of those.
It's a good drink for when you're learning how to mow the lawn.
Oh, man, you don't even know. Like, like there's this little tiny battery-powered like 20-inch lawnmower, and there's like lots of lawn, and you just keep going and going and going, and you need refreshment.
Yeah, you do.
I think it's important.
It 100% important.
I think the brewery's important. So of course.
There's another one. You talk about Levitt, and then the brewery, and what the brewery has done, not only just with Saranac Thursday, but with the tie-in with Creative Concerts.
Oh, dude, right?
And bringing in all these shows. They've been doing it since like 05 or 06. It's right around 05, 06 that they've been doing national shows at the brewery, and to have that all shut down, it's just it's a tragedy.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, where else could you walk down the block and see like Derek trucks or something? I mean, you can't. It's just not. That's
West Utica.
Yeah. I mean, and like if you're really like a shady person, you could like stand out in the street and kind of like listen. You know what I mean? Like I could hear it at my shop if I strain my ears. Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean? Like you can't. You don't get that right in a town like this. Yeah. I've checked.
Yeah. And of course, we got to give a shout out to our Stanley family as well. Especially lately, well, before COVID, obviously, we were on such a good roll. There were some great concerts coming up, and like Mo playing on New Year's Eve was huge, and having the Allman Betts band last year, and just like so many great and like comedians and all this. I mean, it was on such a great roll, and of course, shout out to Broadway Utica as well for all their things they contribute to the city as well.
Oh, totally, right?
Everything was such on a roll. Hopefully, it comes back soon.
I'm that's one of those things that I'm not sure that people realize. Like, the Stanley's another place that I keep talking about places I'm involved with. Like, that's the only thing happening. It isn't, but they're the only ones I really know. But the Stanley brings in so much stuff, and a lot of stuff, once again, under the radar. Like when we do tech shows, like you have no idea. There's like hundreds of people from the city. When I say the city, I mean New York City. Wandering around Utica, spending money, and like just like checking places out and being like, oh, did you know you can buy a mansion in Utica for like $100,000? They say it with a New York accent, not like with my Utica hick. West Utica.
Yeah, that was Skylar accent.
Yeah, that was a Skylar accent. I'm not even sure. I can't even speak Clintonian yet.
No, you can't.
No,
it's Clinton. Clinton. Put those teeth together.
All right. Now, I just got myself excommunicated. Great. Sorry, kids. We'll have to find another school. Maybe Westmoreland. I don't know.
No, but everything was just on such a good roll. But hopefully it will come back and come back stronger than ever. You know what I do want? I want to take it back real quick.
Sure.
Because I know your family history. And, of course, your family was the Fanelli 5. drive. Were you that kid in high school, like going to gigs at night and then going to high school the next day, and everybody was like, "Dude, how was the gig last night?" Were you one of those? Or?
Not quite. I mean, because it was I was playing weddings, so it was sort of like not
Right.
really like
Banquets.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing a wedding. Am I cool?
It's not like you were playing the Metro.
No, right? Yeah. Not when I was a kid. No. It's because I did things backwards. I started out like playing the wedding band with my parents, and like, from them I learned like, oh, you need to make people happy and have a good time. You know what I mean? Like you bring the party. You know that, dude. Because that's what you've made a whole lifetime out of.
Hi, Frank.
You bring the party, you make the party. You know what I mean? You make people have a good time. That's your gig. That's my gig. So, and then I started playing in rock bands and, just trying to be, a grumpy rock star or something, But yeah, that was, no. When I was in high school, I was just like a nerd and, I had like, too long hair and a big afro. And
How old were you when you started playing with your parents?
Like 14 with my parents. And
Wow.
I think my first paying gig, which wasn't with my parents because they didn't think I was good enough to hire me
They
yet.
never paid you?
No, they paid me when I was like 14, but like when I was like 12 years old was my first paying gig.
Gotcha.
I think my mom gave me like $20 a wedding or something. I don't know. Mom, I love you still.
Yeah.
I think you were cheating me.
$20 went a long way back then, though.
Well, that's true. It was like a tank of gas and probably like 7 splits down at Rascals.
7 splits. And of course, back then you could drink at Rascals at 12.
Oh yeah, dude. Totally. I was proof of that. It's a good thing they're closed now. I think because I'd be like looking for like is my daughter in here?
No, it was definitely a different time back then. But I was always curious about that, like if you were out playing clubs and stuff. But it was more weddings.
It was weddings, so it was like sort of like above the board. You know what I mean? It was like, oh no, it's a wedding. It's okay. Like he can drink gin and tonics at 15.
Well, come on. Growing up Italian, we were drinking wine. What's the earliest age you can remember drinking a glass of wine?
Dude, well, they put it in the peach. Like, you put like you have some canned peaches and they put
Peaches in the wine. I loved that when I was a kid.
right?
Love that.
And like now looking back, like that was not good wine.
No.
It was not good wine. Our people did not drink good wine for some reason or other.
Well,
it's rosé in the big jug.
It just soaked up in the peach batter. And they wanted us to drink at an early age so they can go put us to bed.
Oh,
right? That was the whole technique. That was their technique. Let's get them drunk. Let's have a couple glasses of wine so they go to bed early and then we can stay up for the rest of the night.
I totally didn't think of that. I'm learning right now as we speak. Wow, Mom, Dad, what were you thinking?
Right. And that's why they would put rum on your teeth when you were teething and stuff, just so you pass out a little bit.
Oh my God, an Italian upbringing. I don't even know how we survived it.
Growing up Italian, what was the craziest thing your mom ever beat you with?
Actually, it never went beyond hairbrush. But I mean, she had some good hairbrushes.
Did she ever swing a guitar at you on stage?
No,
none of that?
nothing like that. Although, she probably wanted to me. Like, I know she gave me a couple dagger looks over like wrong chords. So it's like, honey, everyone heard that. I'm 15. I don't know. I just started last week.
So nothing over a hairbrush.
No, I never got beat over. I don't know. How about you? What do you?
Oh man, we could do a whole separate podcast on the things I used to get beat with.
Dude, the hairbrush. That was like, that was the ultimate sting. It's like, ow.
Right. Especially if they hit you with the bristles.
Oh, well, the metal bristles probably would be like, child abuse. I'm guessing. I don't know.
My grandmother, and you remember my grandmother,
yeah,
she
sure.
used to chase me around the house with her false teeth.
For real?
She would pull them out of the cup and be like, "Get over here, you son of a bitch! I'll kill you!" And that terrified me. And she didn't even have to hit me with anything; just running around with her dentures in her hands would terrify me.
I'm thinking that was. Yeah, that's dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand a lot about you.
Yeah, right.
You never told me that story before.
I've never made that story public until just
wow.
So you bring it out at me. That and the Christmas in the bottle we did.
Oh, dude, that might have loosened the words up. I don't know.
It definitely did, man. But you have been doing different things though right now as far as audio sound, right? I mean, you do like virtual type.
Yeah. We've been doing some streaming stuff, and Elliot's actually had a much bigger hand in that than I have. We've been doing a couple things down at Matt Osowski's studio, Mohawk Valley Pictures. We've done some live virtual events, and we have a few more in the works that I kind of can't talk about yet, but they're, I'm pretty sure they're going to happen. But it's not the same. It was weird because like you don't feel the energy that might really be happening. You know what I mean? There, people might be really, really digging it, but you're not getting that feedback. So it's a little weird. It's a little, it's different. I'm starting to learn, learn to appreciate things in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm super looking forward to the world kind of, revolving back around to normal. I just don't see it happening that soon.
Do you feel that like you gotta adjust to the changes that are happening, especially like within our industry right now? Everything has gone on a virtual platform.
Yeah.
Is it tough for you to adjust to it?
Yeah, because like the part that's hardest is I like the energy that you feel from other people, like that vibe you get, like when you hang out with like national artists and you find out that they're super cool people, or maybe they're not. You know what I mean? Maybe they're just grumpy because they're having a bad day or whatever. But you dial that down in a way that everyone's on the same page and you're all working together. You sort of don't get that with a virtual environment because like you're like, okay, all right, we're going to do a sound check now. All right, I know I'm 3,400 miles away, but, I totally feel your energy, and I'm just wondering if you could maybe not sing quite so flat or something, I mean, like, how do you even say those things? You don't, because, it's just, it's a different world.
It's tough for the artists, too, when they're sitting there playing in front of their camera phone.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not an audience out there. You don't get a pop. We talked to Vic DiBitetto last week on No Time for Nonsense, and he was saying, like, doing comedy on, like, a Zoom platform or any kind of virtual platform, it's like him doing comedy in a closet, and there's, like, no one there. But the problem is, like, with Zoom, some people don't mute their mics or whatever. So it's like I heard people going to the bathroom. I heard parrots. I heard dogs barking. We hear ambulance. You hear all these things that are going on, so it kind of throws off his routine.
Well, it's funny because I think he's probably done shows in a bathroom, some of his virtual shows, right? Because he's done a lot in his car. Yeah. But he was awesome. I hung out backstage with him the last time he was there for a few minutes, just doing my hey, here's our blah blah blah, because I was running sound for it, and he's like one of those guys. He's cool and he's totally got it. Yeah. Like, he's so sharp and so fast. You got to be careful what you say around him because, he'll
turn it into a joke.
Oh, he totally, yeah. Yeah, you could be on the wrong end of that, and I don't ever want to be,
Right.
Like, oh, man, why did I say that?
Has there ever been an artist where you fanboyed out over that you were working with?
Not in my memory because I'm super careful not to do that. Yeah. Like I want to so bad. Like just like the first time I worked with because I was still really really young, Buck Dharma from Blurster Cult. Bob Aquaviva had been recording them at the studio, and I just got to do a little make a little sample for him, and it was like I want to be like, oh, Mr. Dharma, like I've been listening to you. His name isn't really Buck Dharma, by the way, obviously. But I'm like, I've been listening to you since I was like, 13 years old or whatever. But, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. And internally, I think I was fanboying, but, I tried to keep it chill and shut my mouth and not say too many stupid things.
There has been like somebody like, wow, I can't believe I'm working with this person. But of course, there's that sense of professionalism that you have to lay down, right? But I'm sure there has been a couple people that you're like Bob Dylan or somebody to that nature.
Well, we weren't allowed to gaze at Mr. Dylan.
Oh yeah,
so,
Remember he wanted us to put a pipe and drape down the hallway on the loading dock?
I don't think we're supposed to talk about that stuff, right? We're supposed to be on the DL, like no.
Come on, it's COVID. Everything goes.
Yeah, everything goes. It's like no. Everyone was super chill. It was funny because I've actually done a couple Dylan shows, not like mixed them or anything, but like worked at a couple, and it's always like, yeah, do not gaze upon Mr. Dylan. I'm like, dude, like 10,000 people are going to be looking at him in like 5 minutes. What are you talking about? Don't gaze upon him. Everyone's going to be gazing upon him. Isn't that what they paid tickets for? Yeah, no, not you guys though. You didn't pay. See, we're paying you, so shut up.
No, Taurus opened for him though, right? Back in the day.
Yeah.
Were you in the band then?
I didn't play that gig, but yeah, Taurus, my first real rock band. My band. Like, I was a side dude.
Yeah, Joe Taurus.
Yeah, I was Joe Taurus. Yeah, we all had to adopt Tony's last name actually, and it didn't stick for me somehow. I don't know. But I didn't play that gig. But actually, Frank Tallarico, who's amazing. He's an awesome dude. Played keys on that one. I'm not even sure if I think I played like 4 songs on the record or something. I don't know. Like all these cool people like Carl Goodhines played and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta learn Carl Goodhines' part.
Yeah, but your picture's on the album.
But my picture's on the album. I know, right? Well, I fit the clothes. That's how I get all my gigs.
Is that how it was?
Dude, how do you think? Why do you think I get hired? It's like, who fits these clothes? Oh, let's get Joe Fanelli. He fits the clothes. But yeah. I mean, that was I look good in leather pants.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think I still do. But my wife might disagree on that.
Yeah, she's going to beg to differ. So on Monday, we do Local Music Monday. Justin Smithson, my co-host, brought up a story about you. And that's actually why I reached out to you. I was like, I got to get Joe on this podcast. He told the story that when you play with the square pegs, you totally shut everybody out. And you're just ghetto fab, and that is it. And so he was in the front row going, Joe! And you're totally ignoring him.
Oh, yeah.
Totally ignoring him. And then you came over to him and were like, it's ghetto fab. You slip right into character, huh?
Oh, dude, yeah. I spend a couple minutes prepping for that. Like in the dressing room, I'm completely an a-hole, and very obnoxious. And then I go out on stage and I do that, and it's like totally a character that it's like I wrote a little book about it, in my own head. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got like things he does, things he doesn't do. So, and that was a gig I got because I fit the clothes.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, it's like, who can we get? Joe Fanelli fits the clothes. No, but I made you might not know that, but I made a career out of following a really good keyboard player, James Reedy out of Syracuse. Really super good funk player. And he played in the Electric Chick Magnets, and he also played in Square Pegs. So I got to follow his footsteps, which I'm not worthy to walk in. And I say that with sincerity, too, because, like, he's a super funky dude that can, like for an Irish guy, like, he has the funk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I've just been fortunate that he screwed up enough stuff that I got to follow him.
The Chick Magnets, that brings me back a little bit.
Oh, dude.
What was your name in that? Tito, what was it?
Tito Cool Breeze Rodriguez.
It was pretty much after the WKRP Cincinnati episode with Les Nessman, right? That's why it's Rodriguez?
Well, and I think, Maurice, you've had Maurice on here. You've had Maurice and Sean on here, which are 2 dudes I love.
Yeah, same.
Like, well, actually, I'll tell you, first of all, Maurice asked me, when I was working at Pete's Music House, he came into the store. He's like, hey, I'm going to start this disco band. I've seen you play with Taurus, and like I really, I think you'd fit in this disco band. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really big. I'm like, hey, yeah, thanks. Yeah, let me take your number. All right. And then, I'm not going to call the dude, right? Because it's like, it's disco. And like, I was in a hair band,
Yeah.
And I wanted to be Bon Jovi. Not,
Were you still playing with Taurus at the time?
No. It was after it was done.
Okay.
And anyways, Maurice was right, and so that band became really, really huge, and I don't even remember. I think it was about clothes. I don't know, but so he ended up naming me, and he was just like, yeah, you know what? Your name is Tito Cool Breeze Rodriguez, and if you know Maurice, I mean, he was probably,
inebriated.
Yeah, at the time, and
I think we all were at the time.
Yeah, dude, right? And so, like, I had to go through the rest of my career for the next 5 years of my life, being Tito, Cool Breeze, Rodriguez. And some people, like, Matt Harvey still calls me that, and some other guy does. But, well, he's dead now, so it doesn't matter. He can still be calling me that. I don't even know.
He is on the other side.
He probably is. He's like, hey, Tito, Cool Breeze, what's up?
Whispering in your ear.
Oh, that's scary.
What a great run, though, the Chick Magnets had.
Dude, that was like the most fun thing you could possibly imagine. Like, I mean, I'm sure you probably caught the band at least once or maybe even twice. I don't know.
Maybe every Saturday night in Atlanta.
Yeah. But it's totally not in any of our bag. You know what I mean? It's like not you wouldn't go see disco. Mm-hmm. But like that was the world's best punk disco band.
Because that's where all the girls were.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I went.
Oh man,
I didn't go to listen to you guys.
Neither did I. I think we went for the same reasons.
Right.
No, I got some great lessons from Maurice too, though. I remember 2 things he told me. One is like, don't ever look into the camera. Just don't. So I'm not going to even look at the camera. I'm like looking somewhere else. Like, don't look into the camera. He's like, that way people will notice you. And I'm like, yeah, I do that in pictures. And my wife's like, you're not looking at the camera. And I'm like, I know. I learned it from Maurice. Look, see? The camera's over there. Me looking over there. And the other thing, like one day he just grabbed me. I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I was being some sort of like, I don't know, like wishy-washy about something. He grabbed me. He said, you're a chick magnet now. Act like it. And I'm like, whoa, you know what? He's right. I need to create a better character. So, like, you know, I learned from that. I learned a lot from Maurice. He's a good dude.
Yeah, they both are. Frampton, too.
Oh, yeah, Frampton.
And you can't forget about Dez.
Oh, my God. No, I mean, just take your pick. Bob Kane, any you know, Puddin', pick anybody that ever was in that Jay Fabry, anybody that was in that band. Like, you know, it's just all cool people.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, that was a lot of fun.
So, whereabouts do you start the sound company?
Post Taurus. So I was actually, it was like 1991. Tony and Kelly and Joel played a couple gigs, and they needed like a PA that was a little bigger than the one they had or something. So I used my wedding PA, and then next thing I know, I'm like, starting a sound company. Mm-hmm. Joe Chisolino had a picture of one of my first gigs, and I'm like laughing. I'm like, man, I wouldn't hire that guy. He's got like long, freaky hair and like a, you know, it's just, I would not hire that guy. He's not even wearing all black. But so you know, it sort of morphed into something a little bit more, and then I realized at some point that it should be a career and that we had a need for it in this area, because like there's no dude like Chris Starr, if you remember from back in the day. There's no dude like Chris Starr in Utica. You know, there wasn't anybody that was doing bigger production, and I didn't want people to come to Utica and say like, oh, let's use the local company, and they're either A, not be one, or B, it not be what they expected, you know, not be like up to snuff, which, you know, I mean, let's face it, for like 20 years, I wasn't either, but, you know, I didn't realize
that's not true.
Well, no, dude, like you're doing the best you can with the tools you have. And then you realize like, oh, you know what? I should probably not be using an axe. I probably really need like, you know, a razor blade, and you start to get better tools. And,
yeah.
You know, and then you realize, like, you know, that's probably more important than a salary or, you know, making a living or, you know, having nice shoes. Yeah, it's probably more important.
So your parents pretty much installed that into you with, like, learning how to operate and run a PA?
Yeah, that was sort of by default because, like, you know, my dad was like,
Get in there, plug that cord, boy.
He's like, yeah, I'm a trumpet player. He's like, you know, this is what we do here. We just somebody figure this out. So, yeah, I kind of learned on that. That was kind of cutting my teeth.
Yeah.
You know, in like when I was a super little kid, like 7 or 8 years old, I wanted to A, be an astronaut, as every little kid did then, and or B, a race car driver, or C, maybe the announcer for the race car driving. So I set up the PA in the basement and like, you know, figure out how to turn all the knobs and blow up all my dad's speakers, and then like after you blow the speaker up, like you realize that you could fix it with nail polish, right? Don't try this at home. It doesn't work with current pro speakers. But, you know, it might work with your guitar amp or something. You know, just put in nail polish. Like, oh, no, Dad, nothing happened. There's nothing bad. I fixed it. So, yeah, you know, as an 8-year-old.
Nail polish.
Nail polish. It will fix a speaker.
Oh.
I mean, you know.
What color nail polish?
You know, whatever color I could steal from Mom upstairs. It's just like, you know, oh, she's probably not using this one. It's full. Let me just. So, yeah, that's a legit trick for guitar amps, not for pro audio speakers. Don't try that at home.
Yeah.
Or try it at home. I don't know. Try it at home. Don't try it on your pro gig.
Yeah, some people have mentioned this, and they wanted me to bring this up to you earlier when I was on a post, and now I see it coming up. And there's a lot of people, and I know a bunch of people have been making comments, so we'll get to your comments in just a little bit. And as a matter of fact, if you are on Facebook, please click the share button and help spread the word of EC Radio, the D. And, of course, Fanelli Sound and Lights. I can't even spit that out. I think we should do another shot. Anyways, everybody is breaking your chops about, does it really piss you off on how people rap chords?
Oh, my God. Yes. Absolutely. It actually does. And I'm... You know, like Mark Sistai is one of those offenders, actually. And you know what?
There's a couple people on there saying it, though. Not just Mark.
Well, no, but, all
we'll
right.
Start with Mark.
But because he's a smart guy and, like, he knows better. And I'm looking at him like, dude, like, you're just, what are you? I am, because that leads to the crackly cable in the middle of your gig. And then people look at me and they're like, hey, aren't you going to do something? You're the sound guy. I'm like, well, yeah, I can go up and tell Mark that chord didn't work in sound check, and it's probably not going to work during the show either. But, you know, whatever, Mark, do whatever you want. It's you know, it's your show. But yeah, it does. And I have arguments with my wife. We've come to blows. I mean, I think I still have a black eye because she hit me. one time, with under the cord while she was wrapping it around her arm.
With the 1/4-inch part?
No, that's totally not true. But she does just take the extension cords and throws them in a pile and goes like, yeah, all right, you fix it then.
You wrap it.
Yeah. But when musicians do it, it's way, way worse because, I don't live with them.
And they should know these things.
They should know these things. Dude, right? It's like it should be there should be a course. Maybe that's my next calling, a course.
There you go.
Cord wrapping, how to ask, for things in your monitor without being a D-bag, sound check 101, all that stuff. Like, oh, yeah.
I think you got it. I think that's an idea right here.
I'm going to give a college level course in that.
Yeah.
Just how not to be a D-bag and be a musician. It's kind of hard.
It is.
Because, inherently we are.
Yeah.
Don't.
What else is your pet peeve besides the cord wrapping?
Oh.
Air traffic control, man.
Oh, dude.
We've gone.
I'm already in pain. Do you mean with musicians?
Yeah. Like, what's your pet peeve? Your biggest thing that you cringe every time you hear. Of course, the more monitor thing, and we've touched on that a little bit.
Well, but I can respect them more monitor. You need to hear yourself, and when I was starting out, you start going, oh, what do you mean more monitor? It was fine 2 minutes ago. But then you realize, what, people's ears burn in as the show goes on. Everyone cranks up a little bit. And you just try to be as respectful as you can and take care of the issue because your job is basically to make the musician look and sound as good as they possibly can. And sometimes it's counterintuitive to them that the louder their monitor is, the worse it is in general, and especially in clubs and stuff. I mean, you've done a lot of club work. It's you get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm just going to turn my bass amp to 27. And meanwhile, the guitar player's like, oh, yeah? Well, watch what I can do.
Yeah, and it's usually the guitar player that tries to overdo everybody.
Oh, yeah, because,
always goes to the guitar player.
Yeah, that's why they started playing guitar. It's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can play guitar because that's probably louder than a stick of dynamite, right?
But everybody has to play over the drummer.
Yeah, well, yeah, but, the drummer, he's kind of got an excuse. He's hitting things. I mean, are they even musicians? I don't even know. I don't know. No, I say that with great love for drummers. No, I do love drummers. I mean, I don't even know how they do what they do.
Yeah.
Dude, I have 10 fingers. I can't control all 10 of them at once, and they're controlling all of their appendages and doing different things. It's weird.
Seriously.
Yeah.
There's two different types of drummers. You got the ones that are just completely off the wall, gone, and then you got the other ones that are just quiet and humble. It's there's no in between. It's either you're on one side or the other.
Yeah.
You got any good drummer jokes?
No, I'm not gonna share them because I love all my drummer brothers, and I want them to respect me in the future. So I'm gonna bite my tongue and just not say anything.
Can I just say one?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, would you call
it's your show?
Would you call a drummer in between girlfriends?
Homeless?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, come on.
See, we're on the same way. We should have a show together.
Right now, Joe Rossi, Senior and Junior, hate both of us.
No, hates me. I'm the one that told the joke. And how do you know a drummer is sitting at your front door?
I don't know.
Because the knock speeds up. And how do you get a drummer off your front porch?
Tell him the beer's gone?
You pay him for the pizza.
Oh, dude. Oh.
All right, that's enough of the drummer jokes.
Oh, those hurt. Yeah, right now, Kelly Yacco's spinning.
Right. Oh man, I want to have Kelly Yacco on this podcast with everybody he's beefing with.
Oh, dude,
just one big round table of things. Just let's have at it. Let's do it.
Oh, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm just looking around the studio, and I'm not sure A, it's big enough, and B, I don't know. What would you do? You'd have to wash the walls down from the blood. There would be spatters.
There would be splatters. It'd be like an episode of Jerry Springer.
Oh man, I'd actually like to come to that one.
That would be fun.
Can I just come and poke? just a little bit.
Oh, wow. So,
you're killing me.
Yeah, I know. And
the drummer jokes.
Remember those.
Well, I'm remembering that I'm drinking, UC. That's what I'm remembering.
There you go. And shout out to our sponsors over at Saranac. I miss Saranac so much right now.
Dude, we should be there right now as we speak.
I know. I wish we were. And there's so many great shows that we had coming up too. And all right, so I got a couple people out here chiming. There's a lot of people out there chiming in and trying to catch up with our conversations because I knew this was going to be an ADD episode.
There's no focus.
No focus whatsoever. Like, hey, over here. Whoa. But so there's going to be some questions or comments that were talked about when we were talking about. So okay, so. I love it when Joe gazes upon me when I'm on stage. And that right there is from Genesee Joe.
He is never my focal point when I gaze upon the stage. I'm actually looking straight through him and into, someone else. Usually Fletcher or somebody.
Robin saying, fit the clothes. I have some bell bottoms hidden at Chancey's bin.
Oh, my God. I actually have a T-shirt for Robin that I pulled out when I grabbed that hat. Robin actually supplied my clothes for the electric chick magnets and a lot of the square pegs stuff. She had some totally, like the most awesome shoes. I still have them in the attic from the electric chick magnets. I don't know. Yeah.
Chancey's was such a cool store.
Yeah. I mean, Robin she's had a huge imprint on the character of downtown Utica
100%.
for a long time.
Yeah.
I hope that they open the Tramontaine soon.
Yeah, great place, and definitely gave a platform for all the independent artists.
Yeah, dude, the Birdseed Bandits became the Old Main. It's like there's not that many places where you can go and play music and play original music and get some sort of constructive feedback on what you're actually doing, whether the songs, are worthy of being presented to the public.
Yeah,
it was a great platform.
That was one of the last live shows I saw. Was that Old Main show? You mixed that down at that Polish church or something. At Nash's last bash. Ukraine. Yeah, Nash's last bash.
Yeah,
what a great night that was.
It was, and I think I had a Nash sighting today when I was riding down Genesee Street.
Did you?
I think so. I'm not really sure. It looked like Nash. I keep having these Nash sightings everywhere. It's really weird. It's like, dude, what are you doing at this airport? Why are you here in an airplane hearing gear?
Well, he's got that recognizable face. The handsome son of a bitch.
Yeah, I hate him for it. He's young and handsome.
All right, Mike Tripoli is saying, I still remember the very first Square Peg show I worked with Joe. I had never seen the Square Pegs. It was a Halloween show, and Joe and I set up the PA. Then he disappeared for a while and came out in a full naked man suit with a fuck necklace on, and he's never been the same since.
Oh my God, I remember that show. Yeah.
In a naked man suit?
Well, I dressed as one of the trolls. The whole band was dressed as trolls, so I wore a naked man suit.
Got you.
But in the Chick Magnets, we played naked. Naked.
And you took photos naked, too.
Twice.
Yeah.
We took photos naked, but we played naked at least twice, fully naked. And I remember them locking the doors. We were playing at this club in Rochester that may or may not have been run by, Italians. But they were just lock the doors. Don't let anyone in or out. And we played at a place called the Buckout in Oswego.
Oh, I love that place. I was up there a bunch of times seeing you guys.
Dude, that was our Tuesday night gig, I think, every Tuesday night for I don't know, 30 years or something. Maybe it was only 2. I don't know. Maybe it was a year. I don't remember. But we played naked there, and the cops came.
The cops showed up.
The cops showed up, yeah. I got the owner arrested there one night on a different story, but yeah, the cops showed up, and they were some guys yelling, "My girlfriend saw your," and we're all like, "Oh, I don't know, we weren't naked, no." Luckily, there were no plethora of cell phones and videos to prove anyone's point.
Yeah, think about that right now. Back in the day, if there was cell phones and camera phones and all the technology we have today, we would never have gotten away with the stuff we used to do.
No, we'd all probably be in jail for one reason or another, or maybe an asylum. I don't know, one of the two.
Yeah, a lot of it would be indecent exposure.
There was a bit. There was a bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit. Scott Stafford is saying, if someone runs your cable through my steel, is it okay for me to cut the cable?
It actually is, because you know what, they screwed up more than they should have. So yes, you can cut the cable at that point. And hearing from Scott reminds me that we make events is a real movement, and it's a real thing.
Yes.
The Stanley lit up their marquee with that. I lit up my house. We lit up my shop in red. We really need to extend the PUA for all the independent workers and artists and people that are unemployed currently that have no chance of getting a job in their industry anytime soon.
No, I mean, we might not even come back in 2021.
That's, there was a discussion earlier today. I was just chatting with over at the Boilermaker, and, that's a possibility that 2021 we might not see large-scale events yet. I'm not saying that the Boilermaker won't happen. What I'm saying is that, concerts and that type of stuff might not happen.
Yeah. How do you feel about these drive-in concerts that have been going on?
I'm behind anything that gives someone a gig and gives someone the chance to experience live music. It's probably not quite the same thing, right? I mean,
I agree. We had one not too long ago with pigeons playing ping pong. I mean, it was cool, but it's just not the same. And like when you have the stage that has to get roped off, and there's nobody at the stage whatsoever, and everybody's at their cars, but it's something. And did you see what they're doing in London, where there was like everybody got individual platforms, everybody got decking and with railings around it? I would not want to be that guy setting up all that decking and railing, and that's pretty costly too. Yeah, dude. Right now, I would take that gig, but I was doing the math on like what the labor was, and I'm thinking like how much time it takes to spend to set up each one of those, and how much they have to spend on each one, and I'm like, oh man, they didn't even pay the labor call. With like, I don't know, what was it, like 350 people or something were there where there should have been 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000. Right. It's probably not a long-term solution. So, if everyone does what they're supposed to, maybe 2021 will be our year. I don't know. 2020, I'm going to forget this one. Bottom line, wear your mask. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Outdated stage plots. How do you feel about outdated stage plots? I love outdated stage plots because those are the best, especially when like you have a conversation with someone like, hey, dude, this is like the current stage plot, right? And they're like, yeah, man, that's the current one. And I'm going to tell you, like one band showed up, and I remember like I talked to the guy on the phone. I'm like, your stage plot's current. He's like, yep. We're on our way up from the city right now. We're on our way up. And he showed up, and instead of having a violin player, they had a trumpet player. Like, they couldn't find the violin player, so they grabbed the trumpet player. Showed up really late, and they're like, oh, yeah, we need a mic for this trumpet player. Didn't I tell you about the trumpet player? It's like, dude, no. You told me there'd be a violin player. Like, that's kind of a different thing. Like, those are not the same instrument. But, I'd love to go off on a rant about it, but, like, I already have online because, dude, if you're a Utica musician, please see me about your stage plot. I'll help you get one set up. So, like, when you go to other towns, you, like, hand the sound guy the stage plot, and you're like, hey, man, I'm from Utica. Here's my stage plot. And they're like, oh, cool. You guys are pro. Not like, oh, you guys are weenies. Look at this. It's on the napkin. It's wrong. And like, you don't know upstage from downstage. So, you're from Utica? Are you sure? And that's what Tony from Uncle Charlie and the Meatballs saying. Joe taught me how to make a stage plot.
Oh man, I'm a dick. I don't mean to be.
Genesee Joe wants to know, how do you feel about singers that swallow the mic?
Joe, you have your own set of issues. I still remember your face being on the side of my truck, and I'm scared about that. I'm more concerned with singers that take and they put their hands over the mic's balls, because like, I think that mics don't like that any more than men do. Having their ball grabbed. Just saying.
Robin saying wrapping the cord around the mic is the best too, right?
Oh, dude, no. Why do people do these things? Like,
why do they do?
Like, it's easy to like just like follow convention, like learn your craft, learn your trade. Like it's disheartening. That's the word I'm going to use. Disheartening.
If anything, this conversation has taught me that you should do a tutorial video of all these things that people are bringing up right now.
Well, but what if I'm wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Swallowing the mic is wrong.
Yeah,
outdated stage plots. You should keep your stage plot updated.
Yeah, or even have one.
Or even have one, right?
That would be. It's the same as last year. No, dude. I don't really remember your show from last year because that was a year ago. Like, I don't remember your show from last month.
Yeah, from last minute.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, seriously. They expect you to remember all this. I mean, think about how many. Do you have to be in the tens of thousands of artists that you've worked with since like 1991?
Yeah, I don't even know I don't know what the number is. I tried to do a count once, and I was just like, all right, this is just stupid because it's going to be inaccurate anyways. But like you have like I don't know, 365 days in a year, and sometimes I would do more shows than
4 shows in a day.
Yeah. I looked at like an old calendar, and I had in February I had like 38 shows. 38 shows in a month with 28 days.
Mm-hmm. Tell everybody what like your July would be like.
Oh my God! Dude, the most amazing one was going to be Boilermaker weekend. I was like so stoked. One of those two things.
That's a new word. We just created a new word.
It was going to be like this great, like this was going to be my greatest accomplishment ever if I could pull it off and not die. And then of course none of it happened, but it could have been epic because that was Gina Scampone's
Summerfest.
Summerfest was going to be that week. There was a Saranac Thursday. I had 2 shows in Lake George with the Square Pegs. I was going to do the expo for the Boilermaker, and then the start line and the finish line. We do a little bit of just a little bit of sound for the 15K, and I was also going to run it. So I was planning on staying up from Thursday morning until I finished the Boilermaker.
Wow. And then drop. No, because then you'd have to do loadout, though.
Well, I probably wouldn't have been good for loadout because, the last couple of years I've had the first beer at the finish line.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I made it a
You're
point.
the taste tester?
Dude, I was seriously like sitting there waiting. I'm like, okay. You got to pour me the first one.
I've been here longer than all of you.
I've been waiting. This is why I ran the 5K so quick, so I can get this beer. So you're telling me it's not time yet, but I'm really waiting for. It's not that I'm desperate for the beer. I just wanted the first one. Is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong at all.
I think it's a matter of Utica pride.
Being on this lockdown, have you caught up on your sleep?
Yeah, and I realized that
Sleep is good.
Yeah, sleep is good. I don't feel superhuman anymore though, because like I think that when you don't sleep for a long period of time, like you get this false sense of like indestructibility that is missing now. So I feel human.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that that's good.
I know what's going to happen when we come back. You think you're going to be able to spread yourself out thin like you normally do?
It's weird because like I'm going to need to make up for all this whole lost year, but at the same point, like do I want to? Because like it turns out I actually like my wife and kids and the dog, and I like people, and I like hanging out with family, and I like hanging out with friends. Not that we're able to do much of that now, but I'm not sure that I want to do that anymore.
Yeah,
like to that level,
right?
But I will.
Because you drive yourself crazy.
I just will.
Yeah, because that's your nature.
Well, I'll be right next to you, like just you'll be going, hey, can we guys, can you turn out the lights or something? Because like I want to go home.
I feel like I say that all the time. Mike Tiley is saying drummers are usually good golfers, great hand-eye coordination. Back to the drummer jokes.
oh, yeah. But what if they're late with their swing? I don't know. What do you do then?
Yeah,
he might be right though. I don't golf.
And his favorite's when the singer bends over and puts the mic in the monitor and everybody glares at the sound guy.
Oh yeah, but it's our job to like watch out for that and to make sure it doesn't happen. So like it's a little balancing act, you know what I mean? Like you have to like be like, dude, did you do that? But you also have to fix it. Yeah. So he knows that.
Yeah,
he's good.
That should be part of your tutorial right there. Yeah. That should be like one of the first subjects you talk. Do not point the mic at the monitor.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that. Like, right? It's like this is just dumb. Like, oh look at that! Well, it squeals when I do this. Yeah, and I bet it hurts when you stab yourself in the eyeball with a sharp stainless steel spike. That probably hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe that 4K in your monitor should hurt too. I don't know. But that's Angry Sound Guy.
Yeah, that's the Angry Sound Guy. Robin wants us to talk about ASCAP and BMI and all the music licensing companies out there. They're the ones, they're hurting right now, which they should be hurting.
Yeah.
Because they got no venues to go after right now.
That's true, and you know what?
So now they're coming down on everybody.
That's probably true, and it's like way outside of my field of expertise. I like to just like hand all that stuff off to someone who has like knowledge.
Yeah,
but like
that's a management topic.
yeah, and like, but people that write songs should be paid for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
If your material's getting used, like and you're sitting there, you're on Spotify and you're on Pandora and you're on every single YouTube and you're on all these things. You should get paid for it. But on the other hand, like, dude, the rights for some songs are like so ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, oh, we're gonna just do a cover of this song, and it's like, oh, okay, this is gonna be $4,000 because it's gonna be on YouTube. It's like, oh, I guess we'll write another song of our own that sounds exactly like that.
So when I had the electric company, we avoided ASCAP and BMI for like good 4 or 5 years. And then one day I go into the club to open up, and there's an agent sitting there, and he's got like a book bag full, and like they had people sitting and spying on us, and like they whipped out this spreadsheet, like, and they had the date, the time, the band, the song, everything that was played, and they're like, okay, we want $15,000 right now.
Oh
like,
my God,
that ain't gonna happen, like the joke was between me and Laura was at the time they were looking for Osama bin Laden, and like, well, we just sick ass cap on him, they'll find him. They'll find bin Laden, that's for sure.
Right, it's crazy because like if you had a band in there, and you often did because you were a huge supporter of original music. But like even original music bands, they play covers. It's like, oh, here's our rendition of, and next thing you're like the BMI guy's going, all right, that's a BMI song. Yeah, did you ever give them the $15,000, or should I be worried that they're going to be banging on the door?
Lucky for me, Laura was a paralegal, and she talked them down, and we made a deal. But we'd still have to pay them, I don't know, like $4,000 a year or something like that. It was ridiculous, Okay, I get it, but they couldn't go after like the artist; they had to go after the venue owner.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Bob Ox checking in. What's up, Bob? Good to hear from you. He's saying he's enjoying his semi-retirement. Are you enjoying it a little bit?
Well, I mean, like I went on this awesome motorcycle ride through the Pennsylvania mountains to like the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon, which is
the Poconos.
Well, I don't know. It's called Endless Mountains. I don't know if it's the Poconos or not. Yeah, I don't know. They're mountains. The Grand Canyon isn't very grand. It's no Letchworth, but so yeah, I kind of am like in a way, like, you know what I mean? Like I get to do things like travel and hang out with family that I didn't get to do, and I'm thinking that like if you're not doing that, you're probably, I don't know, probably not as happy.
Yeah.
Which for a lot of people they might not, they might be a musician, and maybe the high point of the week or the month or the year or whatever is like going out and playing. And I'm realizing that maybe the high point of the year is like, hanging out with family. I'm not saying I don't want a gig. Just saying.
There is silver lining to all this. Is there anything you'd like to see stick around after COVID's done?
Well, I mean, in some cases, I'd like people to stay away from me in line.
6 feet thing?
Yeah, like,
keep your 6 feet away from me.
Yeah, you're in the grocery store. It's like, dude, you're right up on me. All right, you're up on my ass. What is wrong with you? And like, COVID gives you an excuse.
Yeah.
But like to not have people in your personal space, I think I'd like to see that stick around.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. 100% agree with you on that one.
Like, yo, man, why are you up on me? Why are you up on me?
Ty Lee is saying his pet peeve, and I'm sure this is a pet peeve of yours as well as mine, is do not come to the soundboard with a drink holding over the board.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Can you turn up my son's guitar?
I was in dude, it was the electric company. I was in the electric company one night, and some guy was like, I think it was Enter the Haggis was playing, and some guy's like, he set his drink on my M7, which at the time was still like worth $25,000, and I'm like, dude, get that off, get out of here. He's like, no, man, it's cool. I'm like, no, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. How is that cool? It's like, how do you even explain to someone, that owns a backpack that, I need to make a living with this for the next, however many years until I can pay it off. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that, Mike.
Yeah, this thing is worth way more than your Volkswagen bus out there.
Yeah. Well, actually now a Volkswagen bus is worth a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking them up and like they're like minimum buying is like maybe $20,000 for a VW bus.
Wow.
So, I'll trade the M7 for a VW bus if anyone's interested in that now. Probably not, because an M7's an old board now. But if you're listening and you have a VW bus, You want to trade it for a Yamaha M748? I'm down with it.
Are you always buying gear? Well, prior to COVID?
Yeah. Like we update like constantly. Like it's like we were the first people to try to buy in for digital boards, and I try to keep on the cutting edge of stuff. I mean, my speaker stock is a little on the older side now, but it's still like current technology. So yeah, like constant. It's a constant bleeding of the profits in case anyone thinks there's any.
Right.
You know, if you want to join this business, I suggest that if you want to have $1 million when you're done, start with 2 million, and then eventually you'll be down to 1 million, and you'll be just as happy.
Tripoli's saying time to purchase an S6L.
Yeah. If he wants to use an S6L, we can just rent it. It's easy to do. We can just rent that.
Yeah.
It's not on any riders, Mike. Why do I have to explain this? It's not on any riders yet. When it is, that's when I'll get one.
You were the first walking around with your iPad, though, locally.
Yeah,
You're the first one doing the iPad thing and going, remote and wireless. And
yeah, dude, because I was making that work with VNC with 2 laptop computers before that. So it was super unresponsive and slow, and like, oh, hey, I turned this up, and then it would get louder. But yeah, the iPad was like, man, that just opened up so much. I'm so stoked about the era we live in.
Yeah.
It's like kind of amazing,
It really is. I mean, prior to COVID, what a great time to be alive. Type of thing.
Right?
Well, everything's much lighter now, right?
Yeah.
And more easier to move, and wireless, and all these great gadgets that you have now. I mean, what do you think the best invention is as far as like a sound equipment goes? Like your favorite thing?
My favorite thing is probably the iPad.
The iPad?
Yeah, it probably really is, because that's like liberating and freeing. And you could sit next to an artist and say like, "Hey, dude, how's that sound to you? Are you happy now?" And like look and feel. Well, you can't do that with COVID because you have to stay 6 feet away. But you could like look and listen and understand what he's hearing and what he's feeling and why. And like it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that does suck. Or just like, hey, you're kind of a pretentious like a-hole because that's really good. Or you could not do that because you're a professional and you're being paid to not do that. Either way.
Adderman's checking and he's saying red herring, JJ's in Rome, 1997, loading gear in Joe's aluminum box truck during a Labor Day tornado.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was nasty. I remember that storm.
Man, what a good band that was.
Oh,
dude.
incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then, of course, the birth of Modus after that, too. But
yeah, totally.
I mean, both of his projects were phenomenal, but Red Herring kick-ass.
Yeah, it really was. It was just like, it was the right music at the right time. It was really raw, and like, wow, what a great studio they have now. Big Blue North, like, oh my God. Like, it's just, we have a world-class room sitting here in Utica, New York. I'll tell you what, like, I rode up Genesee Street today, just looking at it with the same eyes that I looked at when I rode through all these little towns in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, man, Utica's got like a lot of cool stuff. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't know where the cool, like you drive by that Big Blue North and you're like, oh, that's just a cool church. But no, it's a recording studio. And like Utica has a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And if I drove through here, I'd be like, man, this is a cool little town. Look at this. But,
it's not just food culture here.
Yeah, right. Although we have
the best.
We do have good food.
Yeah.
We do.
There are some cool little pockets in Utica, and it's growing too. I mean, there's this renaissance going on, and people are like finally, and as well as I do, we've lived here pretty much our whole lives. And what was the old saying? Last one out of Utica, shut the lights off type of thing. You don't hear that anymore.
No, because we had momentum. It was like moving up. Mm-hmm. You can only beat people down so often and so long, and then they're like, you know what? We don't need to take this. Let's stand up. Mm-hmm. And I think Utica has like had a huge resurgence in the past few years. Like, I mean, I'm proud to be part of this community and always have been. And I'm just glad to see other people are seeing the benefit now. Mm-hmm. That like, you know what? You have small town living, but you're like so close to New York City, and you're so close to so many cool things. You're so close to the Adirondacks, and like, I don't know. You don't get that in like, I don't know, the Midwest or someplace where I don't want to live because it's flat and they grow corn and nothing else.
Right. Well, like a lot of these Broadway productions that will come up for teching, and the first thing out of their mouth is like, "Wow, food is great here, and it's very easy. It's accessible for them because they don't have to travel to the venue. They could just walk up from the hotel, and there's all these eateries along the way and bars along the way, and they always have great things. All of these tech shows that have come throughout the years, and since I've been working at the state, I've never heard any of them bitch about Utica ever. They've always praised it.
Yeah. It's like the only thing that there's really nothing that's significant. You know what? There's nothing that's significant that they ever have said anything negative about. Like it's such a positive experience, and that's why they keep coming back.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know the numbers, but I can't share them. It's not my business to share them. But the numbers that spin off into the community are huge. It's huge.
The economical impact numbers.
Yeah. And like just, dude, you have people from the city coming up here and enjoying like our little community. You know, that just speaks well for our future.
It does. It does. And to see some construction going on around town, even right now through this pandemic, there's still construction going on. And have patience. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I got to sit in traffic over by where. With 5S and going up on the bridge and stuff, people are bitching about it. I'm like, come on, that just means there's progress.
Yeah, right. And I'm like going to any big city anywhere in the world, and it's like that's your everyday.
Yeah, right. Atlanta, see how long it takes you to go 5 minutes,
dude. Right.
Or even 3 miles. It takes you hours to get anywhere. It's LA, just the worst.
Yeah, my friend's like 23 miles, I think, out of downtown Atlanta, and like it's like a 2-hour commute. In like 23 miles. That should be 23 minutes.
Right.
That's how we think. Yeah. Right. It's like I'll just go 60 down all the streets. Shh, I didn't say that. No, we all go 30 miles an hour in the city. But you know what I mean? Like 23 miles. It shouldn't take hours.
Right.
But it does in a big city. So we're sort of spoiled.
We really are. And I think that's why everybody complains that they got to sit in traffic for an extra 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it is. It's like, come on, have some patience, people.
Yeah. And like right now during COVID, it's like, it's not like you have a second job to go to. It's like, where are you going? You're going to pick up the kids at sport? No, you're not. Well, maybe now. I don't know. Maybe sports have started up again, but.
Kind of.
Yeah, I said I wasn't going to talk about sports because, I don't know anything about them, but sports have started up again.
I'll tell you, I'm a big sports fan, and I could give a rat's ass about sports right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, other than Tom Seaver died yesterday. So
yeah, what a shame. What a shame.
He was my first favorite pitcher, just for the record.
Was he? Did you grow up a Mets fan?
Yeah, man. Like, come on, Willie Mays, Tom Seaver, like, those are people before your time.
Yeah.
Sir.
Thank you. Hey, our man S-Dot's checking, and he says he loves us and he misses us very much. Thanks, man. Good to hear from you, Sean. Hope all is well down in Florida. Any bands you can promote? Who do you check out? Like, if you're out and about these days, who do you go out and see? I know you don't get much time off, but if you do, and I know like you and the wife like to go out a little bit and support the live music scene, who are you going to check out?
I mean, well, we always go to like, see if the Old Main is playing or if Showtime is playing, Isaac French. We go to, there's like, tons of people that I love just seeing. Like, we went to see Blarney Rebel the other day, and like those dudes are so smart and so funny on stage. Like, as good at players as they are.
And they can't rap chords, though.
Yeah, they can't rap chords for shit. But yeah, like, it's just like, it's like so funny. The quips that are so clever between them, like you just can sit there and listen to them. It's like, oh, dude, if they don't even play, this is fun. Not saying, they're not good players or anything. I'm just saying they're funny. But yeah, so like, we've been checking out a lot of just those local bands, but we haven't been going out of the area at all because, I don't know. I'm not comfortable. You don't know what the scene is going to be. You don't know if people are going to be following any procedures or whatever. It's like, I know that if I go to Seven Hamlets, there's like, a few acres to go hang out and chill at.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I haven't seen Ryan Quinn for a while, which is kind of like, I don't know. He's still around here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like,
You can find him eating pizza every Tuesday at Fratello's.
For real?
Yes.
He's eating pizza. The music is incidental?
It is, yes.
I didn't know that, dude. I got to go. I got to go take a selfie with him while he's not looking.
Well, he was. I don't know if it's still going, but I know that was his thing. He was going every Tuesday over at
Oh,
Fratello's,
nice.
so.
Nice.
Amazing amount of talent in the 315, though.
There is. Like, dude, we have so many good players. Like, it's it's frustrating to have all this grind to a halt, but that's how the whole world feels. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's so many talented people. There's so many cool people around here. And there's like a handful of people that, like the guy beeping his horn right now. It's like, dude, what are you beeping your horn at? Where are you going? Come on. Like, do you have any place to go? No, probably not.
Right.
Oh wait, he just. I think he ran. Never.
He ran that stop sign.
But seriously, like there's like we live in a really cool area that people don't realize is really cool.
Yeah. You're right. You're 100% correct. I love the amount of talent. And this is exactly why I have this podcast to display all that and also give some love to people behind the scenes, such as yourself, because you deserve the love, Joe, and you are the best sound guy around. And I always say, too, when I was playing gigs, you can't get down without the sound. Right?
I'm embarrassed and blushing.
Well,
it could be the Utica clubs, but no, I'm still good with this one. The worst part is I had like a little prop Boilermaker glass that I just picked up that said Boilermaker 5K virtual, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, while I'm home, I grabbed my wife's drinking glass, and I'm like driving down. I'm like, why does this have lip marks on it? What the heck? Then she's like, you forgot your glass. I think you took mine. So this is like Boilermaker 2018. I think I came in second in the 5K in my age group that year, so I'm not,
So were you still first waiting for the beer, or were you second?
I was first waiting for the beer.
Oh, okay.
Dude, like, all these other people, they're like...
Push the winner out of the way?
No. All the other people are... There's probably like 150 people in front of me. But they're like, let me go get a banana. Let me do this. I'm like, I need the beer. Yeah. Let me get the beer. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to stand here and wait.
Yeah. You go eat your granola bar. I'm going to get the beer.
Yeah. Totally. Is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong at all. It's why they developed the Boilermaker, right? So you could drink beer at the end. That's why you finish at the brewery.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, they're smart down there. They know what's going on. Adderman's saying he had to tell a New York City band that wanted to eat in Clinton, they wanted to leave 30 minutes early to get there, and he had to explain to him, no, you don't have to. Like, you can get to Clinton in 5 minutes. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think there's two things that happen. One is like when Irish groups play here, and the promoter looks at the map. He's like, "Oh, look, it's only about 3 inches. That should only take an hour or two," because they're thinking of like the size of Ireland, and meanwhile, it's across the United States, where like that's like 900 miles. All right, yeah, you could be to Indianapolis in like probably an hour or two, right? I mean, it can't be that far. But the other thing is that when people come from big cities, they don't realize how quick you can get around here.
Yeah, no doubt. I love what Genesee Joe is saying right now, and him and I have had this discussion before. And he's saying Z and I both have said if there was an MV Music Hall of Fame, you would be in the first class inductee.
Oh.
And you would. But who would you induct first class?
Oh, dude, like Bob Aquaviva.
100%.
Jeff Adderman, for that matter.
Right. Well,
dude.
I put him in the third class.
Oh, come on. Talented songwriter. There's so many people. I mean, you can't even not, you could say Joe Bonamassa, but he's sort of not really in this area. He's like in the national realm now, so he hasn't stayed here, obviously.
Right.
I mean, it was so disheartening when he was like 10 years old and his dad brought him in, and I'm like, oh man, the kid's 10 years old. He's already playing better than I do.
Now look at him.
Oh, dude, right? He's like sitting there next to Clapton and people's top whatever guitar player.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Bob Kane's saying Lenny Milano.
Lenny Milano,
I put him in the first class
definitely, yeah, Lenny. And dude, a talented guy and so cool to hang out with too. Yeah. I put Bob Kane in there, even though Bob Kane isn't from Utica.
Syracuse, that's a whole nother animal, of course. I mean, you and I have been in and out of the Syracuse music scene for many, many years. And again, that's a whole nother door we didn't even open as far as the Syracuse players go. And they have their own Syracuse Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, right.
Which we should develop one here in Utica. We've talked about it before, but it just never really came to fruition.
Yeah, because we're lazy too.
Yeah, we're too busy talking shit about each other.
It's like, all right, well, I think we ought to do that, but I don't want to be like the one that has to do it. So
yeah.
But yeah, dude, I actually got my start as a PA company. I built it off of Syracuse because East LA, or actually the Orange Grove before that, I did a few gigs there, and then when East LA became a thing in the same spot.
And then Planet 505.
Yeah, I had the house rigged there, and like Mo used to come through there for example, like all these bands like Big Ass Truck and like these bands like Guardrail got their start there, and all these like cool local bands, Sugar High, dude, like all these like really really cool people, like just man, that was like the best gig ever. Well, actually the Chick Magnets was the best gig ever.
There you have it.
Don't tell Sherry from the Square Pegs that. That's the second best gig ever. So third best gig ever was wait, what are we talking? Is it a sound company or like what? No.
So you just left the PA there? It was just
there was a PA there.
rig?
Like sometimes Jeff Jones, aka Jeff Beck, would mix for me on some nights. In some Art Simmons would. Art Simmons, an awesome dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would mix some shows for me out there. But a lot of times I would just like work my day gig and then drive out to Syracuse and work my night gig and come home at like 4 a.m. and then go work my day gig and be like super late.
What was your day gig?
I was working at Pete's Music House.
Oh, duh, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you remember giving me guitar lessons when I was like 14?
No.
So I got the text message from my mother today. She's like, "Do you know Joe is like Aunt Gloria?" And she starts telling me our relation to Aunt Gloria. And I'm like, "Ma, I've known this since I was 4. This is why Grandma wanted me to take guitar lessons with him." And like I was gonna bring this up and I totally forgot, but I remember the very first day I came in for guitar lessons, and you're like, "Hey, dude, you know any docking? You like any docking?" So you taught me how to play Kiss of Death.
Oh, I mean that's pretty awesome. I don't remember that, probably because I was like sleep deprived.
Right? Now it all makes sense.
No, it does.
And that was probably 1989, 90.
Oh yeah. I was definitely sleep deprived.
I was still in high school at the time.
Dude, wow. Yeah, I didn't know you were that guy. Well, you probably didn't have a beard.
No, I didn't have a beard, and I had like pimples all over my face. I had so much acne. I had acne behind my earlobes.
Oh man. Well, to be young again and have acne be like, "Oh, dude, I got acne." It's like, "Oh, look at this pimple." It's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Pretty soon you're gonna have a mortgage and a car payment and
child support,
and health insurance and probably a couple lawsuits against you. I don't know. Maybe from BMI and ASCAP. Maybe you owe them $15,000. I don't know.
I don't have child support. We're just being.
Yeah, neither do I. Just for the record, I don't think I do.
Robin's saying we should make this Music Hall of Fame thing happen. I think we should too. This is something Joe and I have talked about for many, many years, and we should get like some sort of committee together and kind of put it together. Where would it live though? Where would the local the Utica Music Hall of Fame live?
Well, you know what? There is space downtown. Like I drove by and I saw a bunch of storefronts with artwork. So I'm thinking you could pick any one of those. If it's got artwork in the window, that's a storefront that, should be being used.
Right.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it should be at the Trim Untamed.
There you go. No, we could put plaques up at the Stanley.
Yeah, right.
Maybe up and down the hallways at the Stanley, just a little plaque or.
Yeah, like in place of the artwork.
In place of the artwork, right.
Let's talk with Lisa and see if we can make that
I think
happen.
she'd be into it. Linda's watching that. Linda, get on that.
Yeah, right? She can make it happen. She has influence.
Yeah, for sure.
You have influence.
Sometimes.
I
have influence with you and like, "Hey, dude, can you shut the lights off?"
Can you shut the lights off? I get asked that a lot. I don't know why. Can you, that light is in my eye. It's like, dude, I'm the sound guy. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
Dude, we've been talking for a while here.
Oh,
We're way over the time, but that's okay because, this is my show and I can do whatever the hell I want. Couple more questions real quick.
Dude. Okay.
Moyer's saying hello. I got to bring up, how much do you love his costume changes?
I actually do love them. And since I've always been all about dressing for the show, I love that Tim does that. And I did wear his shirt one time. And he was really, really mad.
Wait, you wore his shirt?
I took his shirt from backstage. I took the shirt that he had hanging up the change into at Saranac. And I went out front, and I'm sitting there with my iPad, and I'm wearing his shirt. And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I got your shirt." He was not happy. He's probably...
What kind of shirt was it? Or was it a vest?
No, it was the white shirt. The white shirt with the collar. He's got like 27 of them normally. But
Right.
I took the one he was going to wear next. The clean one.
Are they numbered on which one goes next?
I don't know. I just grabbed it and just ran.
Did you wear it for the rest of the night?
I did.
You did?
Oh, totally. Are you kidding?
And how does he
gotta
get
own
mad
it.
at you, though?
Well, because I took his shirt. I mean, that's kind of like that's a big breach of the sort of relationship that we're supposed to have. I probably shouldn't bring it up and remind him of it because maybe he forgot.
That's not saying we counted 19 at one Saranac at one time.
Oh my God, that's possible.
19 white shirts.
That's entirely possible. I've seen backstage and it's littered with them. It's like there's hanger after hanger after hanger, and they're all identical. I mean, as far as I could tell, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe this one's like, oh no, this is my special one.
Well, you know what it is. It's all on the fragrance of the shirt too.
When they become too fragrant, you discard.
Right.
Yeah. I totally understand that.
Hilarious. Well, this has been awesome, Joe. Great to catch up with you, man. One question before we get out of here. If you could go back in time, give yourself some advice, what would you tell yourself? Go back to like Joe Fanelli maybe 30 years ago.
Maybe 30 years ago, get a business degree and don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be an idiot would probably be the better part of that. Don't be an idiot.
You wouldn't tell yourself not to work so much?
Oh, no. No, because right now I'd probably be starving and not have a house and all that good stuff. So no, I'd just say not to be an idiot. I was an idiot and I realize it, and I'm still an idiot, and at least I'm self-aware.
Yeah.
A self-aware idiot is better than...
You're a mature idiot now.
Is that because I let my hair go gray? Is that what we're saying?
Not at all. Just you do it wiser now. You're a wiser idiot.
A wiser idiot, yes. Mm-hmm. And I think that comes with something. I don't know, age.
Yeah, age and experience.
Experience, yeah, a lot of miles.
Yeah.
A lot of miles.
Nice.
My brother, you've got a few yourself. Not in terms of time necessarily, but you got a lot of miles.
Yeah, we do got a lot of miles. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for anything.
Nah.
It's been a blessed life.
Dude, I cannot express that I am the luckiest person that I think I've ever met. Luckiest.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so fortunate. So I hope that my sarcasm doesn't, make that seem insincere, but it is.
When I tell Ederman, sarcasm is a form of fear.
Oh man, I just thought it was showing your edge.
I'm just trying to be funny.
Why don't you guys think I'm funny? Why?
This has been a great conversation. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. We should do it again sometime. I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface. We could have talked about so many different things. We could have gone down so many rabbit holes. And I was thinking earlier, I don't want to go down the political rabbit hole with Joe today because I know it fires me up just as much as it fires you up.
Yeah.
I figured we'd keep the level high and make it fun today. But have you been staying off social media a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
it's good for your mental health, right?
It really is. It's like I'm sitting there going like, oh, you don't have to. No, don't acknowledge it. Just don't read it. Don't respond. Don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that from my wife, but I also don't listen. So.
Yeah, for sure. It just stay off. It's so much better for your mental health. But when summer ends and the weather starts getting colder, I'm sure we'll be scrolling again.
Possibly, but I'm gonna do like I did old school and just ride my motorcycle in December and do all the stuff that you're not supposed to do because you're responsible. Because honestly, who do I have to be responsible for now?
Right.
Oh, wait, my family.
There you go.
And the dog. Stupid dog.
Shout out to Maggie.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Maggie. You're lucky you got her.
That's not a lie.
For sure, man. For sure. You can follow, you guys got a social media tag, though. You can follow Fanelli Sound on Instagram. And you also have a Facebook page, is that correct?
Yeah, there's a Facebook page. There's Instagram. Fanelli Sound and Lighting is on both of those. And, of course, if you just want to, argue, you could just find me directly.
Yeah,
right. It's fun to argue. It's always fun to argue.
Yeah.
Not with you.
I don't think we ever argued. I think we've always been on the same wavelength at times.
No, right. No, I haven't. That's why it would be fun to argue.
Yeah.
So if you want to start some trouble, just Go ahead and bring it.
Well, not today, cuz not today.
All right, my brother.
But thanks so much for hanging out. And also, real quick, I want to give a shout out to EJA Moving Services. If not for EJA, this podcast is not possible. So give them some love. Go over to their Facebook page, give them some love, and Instagram as well. If you're looking to move and relocate, if you want to move your office equipment or your gym equipment or your studio or that big warehouse full of sound equipment, give them a call today at 315-335-0516 or hit them up at ejamoving.com. Also, big love to Attorney Dave Longaretta, Utica Coffee, and the Saranac Brewery. It is Thursday. I am out tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend. It is Labor Day weekend, right?
Yeah.
That's Labor Day weekend. So everybody have a safe weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday. Later.